Listen to this episode if you are wanting to improve or even start your email marketing strategy for your consumer brand. Email marketing is the bottom half of your buying cycle, meaning you are marketing yourself on social media. Without an optimized email marketing channel, you are basically kissing so many sales goodbye. Without it, you're doing more marketing than you really are selling. And we need to sell even in a product-based world. It doesn't mean that you're being salesy. It doesn't mean that people won't buy from you or that it's annoying. You need to sell on your emails. And today we're going to talk about how to improve your overall strategy. Today we're going to talk about the two different types of emails that you need, how to improve your strategy, and what we can really do to increase your sales using emails. You're leaving people hanging in the most important time if you don't have these two email marketing types. So many product-based business owners only send emails when they want to make a sale, but that's basically the equivalent to texting a friend when you need something. We all have those friends that you only hear from them when they're moving, or they need this, or they need that. They would like your help here. That's what you're doing when you're only sending emails when you have a launch or you have a promotion. So today we're breaking down those two big types of emails that we need. We're talking about funnels as well as we're talking about broadcast and how both of them serve different but equally important roles within your ecosystem. By the end, hopefully you'll know how to balance them for sales and nurturing your community so you can feel connected and people will actually buy more often. This is also going to be really good for you if you feel like you have to be on social media all the time. Maybe you're already sending emails, but you want to make them better. Maybe you don't have any emails set up, which this can be your little nudge, your little soft push on the tush to get you set up those emails. Maybe the ones that you are set up are just the cookie cutter templates on Shopify. Maybe you just want to actually improve your customer retention because customer retention does start with proper email marketing. And again, maybe you just don't want to be on social media 24/7 because again, this is part of your sales system. So without further ado, we're going to dive on in, but first we're just going to take 10 quick seconds to say hello. My name is Madison Page. I am the host of the Small Business Growth Podcast. I am a business growth specialist and I help you turn your small business into a brand so you can stand out and sell out. We are going to talk about why email matters for product-based business owners. Then we're going to dive into the two types of emails that you need. We can really break those down and the really key spots that we want to make sure that you're doing and the strategies to use, how they really work together. And then we'll talk about some quick wins. And as always, I end my episodes with some action items that you can do. First things first, why email marketing really matters. I know that there's a lot of myths out there, people feeling like it's annoying, people feeling like it's dying, people feeling like they're just not working anymore. But for product-based business owners, it is still the highest ROI marketing channel than any of them. If you put dollars into your email marketing list, you will see dollars return. And it's honestly a pretty cheap marketing channel overall when you start to build your list. Why? Is because all you have to do is basically pay for the software and you are able to directly get into people's inbox. Email marketing is also seen as the brand talking directly to them as opposed to social media and a lot of these other marketing channels feeling like the brand is talking to the masses. So this is where you are actually able to send a message to your customer. It's where you control your customer journey. Everything else, you rely on algorithms, but you own your email list. You are able to really control to the best of your ability what process people go through. For product-based business owners specifically, email drives both first-time sales as well as retention. Many people think of social media as your full marketing and sales channel, but social media is oftentimes marketing, whereas your email list really is your point of selling. It's kind of when I say the bottom half is when you're looking at a full marketing strategy, you have top of funnel, which is awareness, middle of funnel, which is nurturing, and bottom of funnel, which is selling. And oftentimes your email list is that bottom of funnel strategy that we really are following. So it's the bottom half of that buying cycle. So it really is selling. So if we don't use email marketing, all you're doing is you are marketing. You're not actually selling to people, which is, of course, the problem. Email marketing is also something that you can automate based on the consumer's behavior. So when they sign up for your email list or when they abandon cart or when they are at certain stages, whether if they buy from you 3 times, then they go down this other funnel, you can really segment these customers. You can really cater your email marketing to where your customer is within their customer experience and within their journey. So it's very customized. People definitely still buy off of emails. Many of my clients, their highest converting email channel is still their email marketing. So if you haven't started yet, this is a really great place to be. And if you have, and you never put really any time behind it, or maybe you just put them out there once and you've never updated them, we're going to kind of dive into these two types of emails that you need to be sending. First things first is funnels. Funnels are my favorite place to really build out email marketing in your business. Even if you don't send broadcasts, if you have really solid funnels, you will automatically see an ROI from it. I have had many clients that I just put in one email funnel into their business at a very strategic point, and they immediately see sales coming in from it. I have many case studies where clients, we either put in an abandoned cart or a solid follow-up, like after their first purchase, and it actually changes the retention of their customers. It changes the sales that they have, and they're able to actually gather a lot of lost revenue that was there. There's a lot of case studies out there of people changing just the follow-up from their first purchase email funnel, and that is actually what exploded their business, because you don't always explode your business from more people. You actually can explode your business through retention, and that email follow-up funnel is really important. So the definition of this funnel is really a set of automated emails triggered by something within your customer's actions. You can do this for so many things. You can trigger it based on, signing up for your list, abandoning cart, buying from you. You also can trigger them for buying a specific product. If they buy a gift set, or if they buy like a sample set or discovery set, whatever, you can put them down a separate funnel. The side of the funnels as well is, if someone buys from you 3 times, maybe it's a good time to send them an email that kind of says, hey, you can subscribe to this. We'll send it to you automatically. It can also be kind of like a reviving email funnel that some people do. The ideas for funnels are very endless, and they're very customized to you and your customer journey, but it is absolutely something that will make a difference in your business. And the best part about funnels is that they are automated. You set them up and they go out without you having to send those emails, which is so incredibly important. Why that is because when you step away from social media, hopefully we have enough in place on your social that is sending people through these sales systems, even without you having to do anything other than set them up and manage them every once in a while. The role of these funnels really is sales focused, moving people through a specific part of the customer journey, whether again, that's a welcome, abandoned cart, post-purchase, whatever that might be. These really aid in retention, in conversions, and in just customer satisfaction overall. They build loyalty. They keep people coming back. It nurtures a lot of browsers into buyers. When people are there, you're basically sending people direct messages into their inbox at very important stages of the buying cycle. There's a lot of different funnels I recommend, but everybody should have the welcome flow, an abandoned cart, and a post-purchase flow, but they do have to be kind of customized to your business. When we talk about funnels, we're not just talking about putting them in place. We're not just talking about having the cookie cutter Shopify piece out there. A really big tip, and if you take nothing else away from this podcast, taking this, is that the personality that you share in your emails, the branding that you share, that customization that you share in your email is going to make a world of a difference. So don't just make these stuffy, nobody wants to open a stuffy email, add some personality to them. And there is a strategy on, kind of like the flow that you really send people through. Hey, I'm jumping in here for 30 quick seconds for those of you who are loving the podcast but wish we could dive deeper into every episode topic together. I have actually started a completely free podcast community called the Small Business Cafe for exactly this purpose. Inside this community, we dive deeper into every podcast episode, provide bonus resources, and actually host completely free monthly coaching calls with me so you can get your questions answered. Plus, you get to submit your questions for our Friday coaching session episodes and connect with other founders too. If you have been loving being a part of this podcast and want to connect with other brand founders, plus get extra support from me, click the link in the show notes below to join. The next type is broadcasts. These are kind of one-off emails that you can send to people. This is basically a single email sent to your list at a set time. It's more, think of these more of like a memo, an announcement, or kind of like a mini blog post that you can send to people. The role here is much more relationship focused as well as announcements. So this is going to be more nurturing. But if you have a sale, if you have a launch, if you have a promotion of any kind, you should also be sending that type of email. So these broadcasts can kind of go back and forth. I recommend, and these could be split up into 3 different buckets, where one we have funnels, one we have nurture broadcasts, and one we have sales broadcasts. The nurture broadcast is going to be providing value for your customers. What are the FAQs? How are people going to integrate them into their life? What are best practices, common mistakes, in what's trending for the season, kind of just providing value for people. Because this is the bottom half of your buying cycle, there is still a piece of this that does need to be nurtured, right? It can't just be all sales. Otherwise, people are going to be like, wow, they're just selling to me. We want people to want to stick around on your email list. So answer people's questions. And honestly, even in those nurture emails, you can still sell to people. And then when we move the list over to, selling emails, or those promotion, launch, kind of active selling time broadcast, those are going to be announcements. And we don't just want to do one of them. If you have a launch, one goes out. We want to kind of A, tell people something's coming, B, it's here, and C, it's going away. It's low stock, last 24 hours. It's a really great place and a really great way to be able to say, hey, this is coming and this is what's happening. Maybe you're doing a new product drop. Maybe you want to do a gifting guide, maybe any other timely value that you can share. This also can be some founder notes or some lifestyle content. So if you're experiencing something, this is also a great place if you have to provide any information. A lot of my clients utilized these broadcasts for tariff information this year, or anything like that, pricing increases, or just hey, we appreciate you. After the holiday season, hey, we had such a wonderful holiday season. This is just from the founder. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting our business, things like that. And then of course, promotions and sales announcements. Now these 2 or 3 types of emails really do all work together. They have very different roles and very different responsibilities, but they really do work together, and they both are necessary for a full email marketing strategy. When we're looking at broadcasts really are there to share information and to share an announcement. So if there is anything, it's either to nurture that community, provide some sort of value, or to tell people something is coming. It is to communicate something going on that you want to share with them. Whereas the funnels are to move people through an experience at a certain point in the customer journey. It's to move people through. And you don't just want to send one of those. We want to have kind of a funnel that they go through, meaning they get different emails, different times of day, and of course the breadth of that funnel changes based on what they were doing. An abandoned cart sequence, you're not going to follow up with somebody every single day for 14 days, but for a welcome sequence, or, if they purchase from you or something like that, you might follow up with them for 5 to 7 days and send them an email every single day. It really just depends on your product, your industry, what they buy, and your overall customer journey that you have. So I really would sit here, funnels kind of are that engine where they're always running, they're always converting, they're happening behind the scenes. You just have to kind of push people there, and they are doing a lot of the heavy lifting of the sales side. And your broadcasts are kind of that fuel. It's nurturing, it's keeping people warm, it's keeping people knowing what's going on in your business. And it's also reminding them what's going on, why you're here, and some of that as well. You do need both. If you have too many broadcasts, you risk sounding only salesy because you're only selling to people without kind of that foundation. And if you only have funnels, you miss kind of that human community building side. You only have when somebody does something, then you're just trying to sell to them. The broadcasts, if you only send people an email when you have a launch or when you have a promotion, you aren't ever really nurturing people here, because we have to remember that not everybody on your email list is following you on social media. So even though you're nurturing a lot of people on your social, your email list kind of is that bottom half of the buying cycle. And while this is coming out, it's kind of during the holiday season. It's beginning of November while this episode is going to air. And the holiday season is a really important time to have emails really solid and going out. Why that is because the holidays are a time that's very noisy, that we have a lot of lurkers. We have a lot of people looking for the proper, the information, and you can send emails directly to them. You can capture their email and sell to them, other times via, and this really does help to build your sales kind of moving forward as well. So I would really urge you kind of some action items from this episode today when we're really looking at this. I don't think I said that this was a coaching sessions episode. It's a Friday episode, which means this was submitted by one of you. I must have missed that context somewhere here, but really they asked, how do I get started with emails? My emails are out. I have emails going, but I don't really feel like they're converting very well. Why do you think? Some of the major mistakes that people make is that they are cookie cutter. They made them once and they don't ever A/B test them. This is a space that you absolutely can test. So it's not just, let's just put these out there and then never touch them again. Maybe go in there and look at your open rates, look at your click rates, see which ones are working, see which ones are not, and adding some changes to them, making sure they're branded, making sure that you have some personality in there. We want to really do that. So looking at the action items, I highly recommend setting up your 3 core flows, and that's a welcome, an abandoned cart, and a post-purchase flow. Those 3 are absolutely essential for every business, every single one of my clients, to ensure that they have proper community building and retention. We make those very strategically. We pick kind of like a rhythm. If you are going to do broadcasts, I don't recommend saying, I'm going to send out a weekly newsletter unless you are positive that you're going to be able to stick to it. So until you know that you're going to be able to stick to weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever, don't say it that you're going to send something every Friday. Let's just try to get kind of like a temp check on how much you want to send those broadcasts and kind of go from there, making sure that you're mixing those nurture versus promotions. Even during the holidays here, it's okay to say, what are we gifting to people, what we recommend, best uses, common mistakes, things like that. And you're always wanting to track your open rates, your click rates, and your conversions. Emails are testable. Go back and look at your funnels. Go back and look at your abandoned cart. Look at your welcome. Look at your post-purchase. What are your overall conversion rates? Do they actually help? Do they help retain customers? Do they help convert customers? And if they're not, we have to go in and actually look at the funnel itself. We have to look at the information within those funnels themselves, because you can have them out there, but if they aren't bringing people through the proper kind of customer experience, they're just not going to convert very well. So the major action item that I have for you today is looking at those major funnels first, looking at your abandoned cart, looking at your welcome funnel, and then looking at your post-purchase. Are they optimized? Are they something that you would want to go through as a consumer? Are they something that you would want your mom to go through as a consumer? Yes or no? And if your answer is no, we will really want to dive into there, especially during this holiday season while people are really purchasing and they're seeing these. It's part of your customer experience. If you're not proud of them, odds are that they are not optimized. So a good email strategy equals funnels for sales and retention, and the broadcasts are more for nurturing and connection. I think remembering that funnels are sales, retention, automations, broadcasts are more for nurturing connections and announcements. And that's a good way to kind of keep those in there. If you're listening to this and you're feeling amped, you're feeling excited, I actually would love to give you a resource on these 3 major core flows and kind of give you a skeleton of what I recommend my clients do for those 3 major core flows, literally 0 strings attached. I would love for you to just DM me on Instagram and say emails, and I will send you over the 3 major skeletons that I recommend my clients do use for those 3 major flows. Again, the welcome sequence, the abandoned cart, and the post-purchase. If you don't feel like they are converting well enough, I would love to give you the skeletons that I give my clients and kind of just do as a personal, a little resource for you. Please come over to my Instagram at thisismadisonpage and DM me emails, and I would love to talk with you and send that over to you. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Would love to give you with that alongside of this episode. I hope that this was helpful. I love you. I'm rooting for you. I'm in your corner always, and I will see you in the next episode. If you found today's episode helpful and are looking for more tangible ways to grow your business, make sure you are subscribed to the show. If you want to dive deeper into this topic more, click the link in the show notes and join our completely free podcast community where we dive into every single podcast topic, as well as give some bonus support and free coaching calls. And finally, if you are interested in getting my eyes on your business to find your hidden opportunities to scale, apply to work with me one-on-one in the show notes or on our website. Remember, it's not enough to listen. Don't forget to implement too. I love ya. I'll see you in the next episode.